Just like when they took pictures on the moon. How is that possible?
Because they took a camera with them.
Fairy tale land, hello.
Hello? Ugh, I feel awful. First off, I've been ignoring stuff because of the final experiment. And by stuff, I mean CC, Mr. Completely Clueless from Westchester County. And secondly, and I'm not proud of this one, I made a couple of mistakes in my video where I read the entire Antarctic Treaty. I only went and called the Roman numeral VII 12 when it's actually 7.
You f***ing prat.
But in my defense, I'm not Julius Caesar. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's see what CC's been getting up to, shall we? Please subscribe.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 9/5/24.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody actually cares about any of that, Chris. But what I am interested is why there are crutches just over your left shoulder. You didn't fall off the edge, did you, while you were investigating the flat Earth? I mean, it wouldn't be the stupidest thing you've ever done, would it? Somebody told me that you once locked your car keys outside the car.
Hey! Somebody!
You ever been to the lake? I love the lake. I really do. The lake is a fun place to be. Especially on those calm days. You know, those beautiful calm days. You know, where the lake is just still as can be. Like a reflection, a mirror.
Well, yeah, I like lakes just fine, but where are you going with this, CC? Because it's unusually coherent for you.
So you have to understand, as still as that lake looks, they want you to believe you're flipping over backwards and forwards.
Okay, and who exactly is they?
And traveling at this enormous speed through space and movement, but you don't sense it.
Imagine you're sitting on a train, Chris, moving along at a constant speed. You're sitting there comfortably, reading a book, and you don't feel like you're moving because everything around you, like the seats and the other passengers, even the air inside the train, is moving at that same speed. It's only when the train speeds up or slows down or turns that you feel any movement. The Earth is like that train. It's spinning and orbiting the sun at a constant speed, and we are spinning and orbiting along with it. Everything around us, the air, the oceans, the buildings, it's all moving with the Earth. And since there's no change in the speed or direction of the Earth, we don't feel any movement.
Where is that movement, that they're talking about? Where is all this amazing hundreds of thousands of miles of speed that we're traveling? Where is that movement?
I'm not explaining it again, but it's there, Chris, I promise you. And you know something that's always baffled me is why flat earthers say that there can't be any movement because we can't feel it, and yet they're quite happy to go outside and breathe. I mean, you can't see there's oxygen in the air, but you accept that you can breathe just because you're told it's there. We can't actually see oxygen.
Better yet, where is the curve? Where is it? We can't find it.
Now then, funny you should ask, Chris, because in the not too distant future, I'm launching a high altitude weather balloon with a camera on board, and I will show you the curve myself. And remember, if you want to contribute towards Project Curve, there's a PayPal link in the description below this video.
We don't feel ourselves moving, and nobody can tell us why.
Oh, but I did tell you, why haven't you been paying attention? The reason we don't feel the movement of the Earth is because we are moving with it.
Nobody can tell us about the Coriolis effect. Yeah, that would be the sharpshooters, when they're shooting something from hundreds of feet away. They never take an effect of any movement at all with the surface of Earth.
Yeah, but even the most skilled sharpshooters who are aiming over incredibly long distances have to account for the Earth's rotation. It's a fact. Now, the rotation causes a slight curve in the path of a bullet, which is known as the Coriolis effect. It's a subtle but measurable phenomenon that demonstrates that the Earth is a spinning sphere. And this is just another example of you can't make it work on a flat Earth, therefore it must be fake.
Yet we're to believe that it's traveling at 1,000 miles per hour.
Which is one rotation every 24 hours. If you were to stare at the hour hand on your clock, can you see it moving? Now, we all know it is moving, but it's moving so slowly, it's difficult for the human eye to perceive that movement. Now, the hour hand on a clock's a really good example of an object with a slow and consistent rotational speed that, when scaled up, would be comparable to the Earth's rotational speed. The hour hand on a clock makes one full rotation every 12 hours, which translates to an angular speed of 30 degrees per hour. So if the hour hand on your clock were the size of Earth, it would be moving at 2,072 miles per hour. But it would still only make 2 trips around the clock every 24 hours. Earth is massive. It's one rotation. This highlights the vast difference in scale between everyday objects and the Earth, which is probably why flat earthers make such idiotic comparisons. Even slow-moving objects like the hour hand on your clock, when you scale them up to the size of the Earth, they can reach very impressive speeds.
See, I used to play Flight Simulator when I was a kid, and I always sucked at it because I didn't have the right joystick, and it just was crap. I was playing it off my Apple IIe computer, so...
Sorry, I'm just playing the world's tiniest violin. CC, we don't care. Boo-hoo, you didn't have a very good computer when you were a child. Maybe that explains... No.
Yeah, there was no Windows back then.
Oh, did you see outside then?
Windows wasn't invented until 95. That's made it simple for anybody to get on the computer now.
Right, my bad, CC. You meant Windows as in the operating system. It doesn't matter, carry on.
See, Flight Simulator never had or simulated the Earth moving while you were landing the plane. I mean, it was hard enough to land that thing with the shitty joystick you had for your Apple IIe or Apple IIc computer, let alone having Earth moving like that.
You know, sometimes I could literally just burst into tears. The original Microsoft Flight Simulator from 1982 didn't simulate Earth's rotation, you're right, Chris. And whilst the game was groundbreaking for its time in terms of flight dynamics and 3D graphics, the technology and computational power available back then were limited. So simulating the rotation of the Earth in real time would have been a significant computational burden. Now, later versions of the game gradually incorporated more advanced features and realism, including Earth's rotation. Hang on a second, why the bloody hell am I explaining this? It sounds to me like he's about to claim that Microsoft Flight Simulator proves the Earth is flat. I can feel it in my bones. I meant bones. I can feel it in my bones. Boner.
Because when you look at Earth from far away from these supposed satellites, this fake CGI.
Yes. So, if these satellites are supposed, which would imply that you don't believe they actually exist, I'm going to assume a couple of things about you then, Chris. So, you never use GPS on your phone, or you never use your phone for anything because satellites are fake, and you never check the weather forecast.
It's all CGI. It's all bullshit. We don't have anything out there. You can't get out there. The radiation belt, the Van Allen belt, basically says that there's a dome up there. They had to come up with something.
Yeah, and talking about coming up with something, Chris, you've just given me an epiphany. I've just come to a realization. You, along with lots of other flat earthers, don't even believe that space is a real place, which does beg the question, where the hell is the Earth, even if it is flat? Because even a flat earther's got to be somewhere. But I digress. If space is fake and the Earth is covered in a dome, which is what you've said you believe multiple times, then what Van Allen belt? Where would that be? Why would you need it if space is fake?
You know, I mean, this fairy tale land that they come up with, the people, they don't question it. They don't do anything. They don't think for themselves.
Holy shitballs, I have never seen so much irony crammed into one sentence. We live in a fairy tale land. We don't think for ourselves. come on, Chris. It's funny, but, you've got to be joking.
I had that belief too. I believe we lived on this fairyland.
Cool, so even you were normal once then?
I believed in all of it. I admit it. I'm not ashamed to say it.
Then what the hell happened? Was it some sort of head trauma? Because I'd feel bad if it was. I mean, I'd feel bad that I make fun of you so often for the things you say. It wasn't that, was it?
Just like when they took pictures on the moon. How is that possible?
Because they took a camera with them.
One night I was sleeping, I had the door open. We have a screen door in the front over there so no bugs will come in. And the main door opened, beautiful outside. The moon was traversing through the sky like it always does. Full moon, bright as can be, almost as bright as the sun.
I don't really think it would have been as bright as the sun, but the moon does reflect back to Earth about 12% of the sun's light that hits it. So, yeah, some nights it can look really bright. But as bright as the sun? No.
What do you think it looks like on the surface there?
Well, I've not been myself, but if I had to guess and base it on all the images we have, I'd say like your underpants, Cece. Grey and dusty.
What camera could possibly take a picture of anything on the surface of that?
It was a modified Hasselblad 500 EL data camera that was specifically adapted for use in the harsh lunar environment. Ask me another one, go on. Nothing about Roman numerals, so please.
But yet it's a little gray spot. Where is the crater of the Apollo 11 when it landed?
Well, if it had caused the crater, CC, then it would be on the moon, wouldn't it? Is that what you meant?
Yeah. Fairy tale land, hello.
Hello?
Apparently in the summertime, the sun is further away from Earth. That's fairy tale land, okay? It's further away.
Well, yeah, provided you're talking about the northern hemisphere summer.
But it's hotter here on Earth when the sun is further away or than it is when it's closer to us in the wintertime.
Yeah, there seems to be some confusion on your part about how seasons on Earth work, Chris. Seasons aren't caused by Earth's change in distance from the sun. They're caused by Earth's axial tilt.
Have you ever heard about the Dyson ball?
Do you mean a Dyson sphere, which is a hypothetical megastructure that encompasses a star and captures a large percentage of its solar power output? No, never heard of it.
Okay, that would be a spacecraft. Well, not a spacecraft, a city that would be around one of these stars.
A hypothetical city, which is wrong anyway, because the exact structure of a Dyson sphere can vary. And the concept was first proposed by physicist Freeman Dyson in 1960. And it was inspired by science fiction writer Olaf Stapledon's early work. So it's not exactly a smoking gun, Chris, is it?
Then all of a sudden, I think it was on one of the space magazines, that the, what's that new telescope out there? The James Webb telescope, whatever the fuck his name is. They think they found a Dyson ball.
No, the JWST has not found evidence of a Dyson sphere, Chris. Now, there have been some interesting observations of stars with unusual infrared emissions that could potentially be explained by the presence of a Dyson sphere or other megastructure, but these observations aren't conclusive and have other possible, more natural explanations. Do you know, it makes me laugh. When it suits a flat earther, they'll cite something like this because they think it helps them, but in reality, all it does is expose them.
Not too far away, and they've got a picture of it too and everything. Fairy tale land.
And let me guess, Chris, as usual, you're not going to cite any articles, you're not going to mention any scientific papers, and you're most definitely not going to show us any photographic evidence. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you on Wednesday. Love you, bye.
Well, we're waiting.